On this video, we'll be solving quadratic equations using the quadratic formula. Both of these examples are questions from previous question papers. The first example was taken from the November of 2022 grade 12 exam, and then the second problem was taken from the June of 2023 grade 12 exam. So typically these are the questions you would get in an exam. Questions where you will need to use the quadratic formula to solve them. Generally, if you see on your question paper, this note on the side that says correct to 2 decimal places, that question needs to be solved using the quadratic formula, because they know that you won't find factors that make these problems solvable using factorization. The structure of a quadratic equation is this. The structure is always ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. Once we have this structure, then we can solve using the quadratic formula. Quadratic formula is also given to you in the exam. It's x is equals to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All you need to do is substitute these values. In the second problem, you see it might not be in that structure, so the first thing you need to do is put this in the same structure as that one. The first problem is already in the structure that we need, so this one was worth 3 marks in the exam. This one is worth 4 marks in the exam. Start with the first one. 2x squared minus 6x plus 1 is equals to 0. So when we compare these two, we see now that our a is equals to 2, our b is equals to negative 6. Please be careful not to leave out the sign. And our c is equals to 1. So all we need to do now is plug in these values on this formula. So our x will be equals to negative b, that is negative of negative 6. This is negative 6 plus or minus the square root of b squared. This is negative 6 squared minus 4. Our a in this case is 2. Our c is 1. All of this over 2a. Our a is 2. So now we just calculate negative multiplied by negative gives us a positive 6. Plus or minus the square root of negative 6 squared is negative times negative becomes positive. 6 squared is 36. Minus 4 times 2 times 1. This is 4 times 2 is 8 times 1 remains 8. All over 2 times 2, 4. So our answer will now be 6 plus or minus the square root of 36 minus 8. 36 minus 8. Sometimes I get lazy and use the calculator for easy arithmetic. We all go through that. So now our final answer will be the square root of 6 plus the square root of 28 over 4. 6 plus the square root of 28 over 4. Or x will be equals to 6 minus the square root of 28 over 4. We just need to use the calculator now to find our values. So this is 6 plus the square root of 28 divided by 4. The answer we get is 2.82. So x is equals to 2.82, or x is equals to, we just change the plus to a minus, and we get 0.18. Remember, we're rounding off to 2 decimal places, so x is equals to 0.18. That is your final answer. So a problem like this is usually worth 3 marks. You get a mark for substituting, a mark for doing your arithmetics correctly, and a mark for your answer. Now on the second one, notice that it's not in the form that we want, where we have ax squared plus bx plus c is equals to 0. So when we're trying to solve this now, this is our second problem. X times 3x plus 5 equals to 1. We just need to multiply out. Let's try to keep the formula here. Multiply out the bracket. So x multiplied by 3x gives us 3x squared plus x multiplied by 5 gives us 5x is equals to 1. Transpose the 1 from the left hand side to the right hand side. We have 3x squared plus 5x minus 1 is equals to 0. So now this problem has the structure that we need from a quadratic equation, where it's ax squared plus bx plus a constant is equals to 0. This is our structure. In this case, our a is equals to 3, our b is equals to 5, and our c is equals to negative 1. Please be careful with the signs. Always remember to add your negative sign. Always keep your negative signs there. So x is equals to negative b, which is negative 5 in this case, plus or minus the square root of 5 squared minus 4. A is 3, c is negative 1, all over 2, a is 3. If you somehow forget your negative for your c value, you might end up with a square root of a negative number, and that one is not solvable. So you have to use your imaginary numbers, and that is outside the scope of a matric exam, so they would not give you a problem that would require you to use imaginary numbers to solve. Solving this now, we have negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 25 minus negative 4 times 3 is negative 12 times negative 1 becomes positive 12 over 2 times 3 6. Then we have our x is equals to negative 5 plus the square root of 37 over 6, or x is equals to, now we use the minus, negative 5 minus the square root of 37 over 6. We'll use our calculator again. Negative 5 plus the square root of 37 all over 6. This gives us 0.18, or x is equals to, with the same equation, instead of a plus root 37, we have a minus root 37, and the answer is negative 1.85. Negative 1.85. This problem is generally worth 4 marks in the exam, because you still need to put everything in the structure that we want our quadratic equation to be in. I hope this video helps. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more videos. Thank you.